Most learners are told something very simple. 月 means moon. But then you learn words like 腿, 脸, 胖. And suddenly, why is there a moon inside all of these? That's usually the moment people start thinking. Chinese characters don't make sense, but actually, they do. At first, everything feels simple. You learn 月 and you think, okay, moon. But very quickly, that stops working because the moment you learn a few more characters, you start noticing something strange. That same shape keeps showing up in words about the body, and that is the turning point. Not where Chinese becomes random, but where you realize this shape might be doing a different job. And once you see that, everything starts to make more sense. Here is the hidden logic. In many common Chinese characters, that moon looking shape is not really about the moon. It actually comes from an older flesh component, the body. So visually, you see moon, but functionally, it is acting as a body clue. That is why it keeps appearing in words related to body parts and physical things. So the real lesson is this. It's not that 月 always means moon. It's that the same shape can play different roles. And once you understand that, Chinese characters stop feeling like drawings and start feeling like something built with purpose. A long time ago, moon and flesh were actually written differently. They were not the same shape. In very early Chinese writing, rou had its own form and yue had its own form. But over time, as Chinese writing changed and became easier to write, the side form of rou, meaning flesh, gradually started to look more and more like yue. So, in many modern characters, that moon looking side is not really about the moon at all. It is actually the old flesh side in disguise. That is why it keeps showing up in characters connected to the body, body parts, and internal organs. Now, let's go back to those everyday characters. Take 腿, leg. On the left, you see this component. It looks like 月, but here it actually comes from 肉, meaning flesh, body. It's not moon. So that tells you this character is probably related to the body. On the right side, you have 腿. That part gives you a sound clue. So this whole character is built like this. Body meaning plus sound hint. 腿. Now take 肚, belly. Same pattern. Left side is body, again from 肉. Right side is 土, gives a rough sound. Not exact, but close enough to guide you. So the whole character is body meaning plus sound hint 土 to become 肚, belly. Take 脸 face. Left side body still the same system. Right side is 牵. Originally it is 牵. This gives a sound direction. Over time, the pronunciation changed slightly, but the structure is still there. So meaning 肉 body plus sound 牵 becomes the word 脸 face. Next is 背 back. Here the structure flips slightly. The bottom part still connects to the body idea, and the top part 背 gives you the sound clue. So again, not random, but built with logic. Now take pang, fat. Left side is body, represented by the Chinese character yue. Right side is ban, gives you the sound. So even though it is not a body part, it still describes something about the body. Now take P, spleen. Left side is represented by yue, which is rou rather than moon. Still the same system. Right side is bei. This gives a sound direction. Although the pronunciation changed slightly over time, just like the Chinese word lian, but the structure is still there. And this is the real shift. You are no longer memorizing separate characters. You are seeing a system. One part tells you what it is about, one part helps you guess how it sounds. And even if it is not perfect, it is enough to guide you. And that already makes learning much easier. Now, here's something important. I'm not saying the moon meaning disappears. Sometimes yue really is the moon. Let's start with ming. It means bright. Look at the character. On the left, you have ru, sun. On the right, you have yue, moon. Sun plus moon. When both are together, it becomes bright. Now look at qi. This one means a period of time. You can see yue inside the character. In ancient times, people used the moon to track time, months, seasons, cycles. So here, yue keeps its original meaning, moon. That's why qi is connected to time and expectation. Next, lang. It means bright or clear. You can see yue again. But here, it's not really about the moon itself. It's more about light and clarity. Think of a clear night sky with the moon shining. So the idea of brightness carries over. That's why lang means clear and bright. Now, Wang. This one means to look into the distance or to hope. You can see Yue again. Imagine someone looking far away, often under the moon. In ancient times, people looked at the moon while thinking, waiting, hoping. So the meaning becomes looking, expecting, hoping. That's how Wang develops its meaning. In these cases, the idea of light or time still makes sense. So again, the shape is the same, but the job is different. But here is where it gets even more interesting. Sometimes it is neither the moon nor the body. Take this character, Peng. It looks like two moons, but it has nothing to do with the moon. Originally, it was based on two strings of shells, something people used as money. Over time, the shape changed and it became what looks like two yue, but the meaning stayed. So peng came to mean things that are paired and connected, and eventually it means friend, 朋友, peng. Now you might be thinking, so does that mean Chinese is just inconsistent? Not really, because cases like this are the minority. Most of the time, these components to give you useful hints. And even when they don't, there is still a reason behind it. So instead of making things harder, this actually gives you an advantage. Because now, when you see a character, you don't panic. You start with a clue. And most of the time, that clue works. You don't need the system to be perfect. You just need it to work often enough to help you. And this is where everything comes together. Chinese characters are not random drawings, they are built from parts. Some parts hint at meaning, some parts hint at sound. So instead of memorizing everything, you start figuring things out. And that changes the entire learning experience. So the next time you see this shape, pause for a second. Not every yue is just moon. Sometimes it points to the body. Sometimes it points to the moon. And sometimes it is something older. But once you start asking the right question, characters stop feeling random. They start revealing what they were doing all along. And that is the kind of Chinese I think learners deserve to see. And once you start seeing this, you'll begin to notice it everywhere. So next time you see a Chinese character, don't just read it, look inside it. If this helped you, click like and subscribe if you want more videos that reveal the hidden logic textbooks usually miss. 再见。